Hey, welcome to Basic Statistics for Behavioral Sciences. This is Psychology 3020. I'm Skip Kendrick, the instructor for the class, and this is a required course for psych majors. Now, this is an online class, so let's take a look at the D2L course content pages and some of the other pages I use, and as we look through that, I'll be able to describe exactly how the course is set up, the work that you'll be doing, how you're graded, and that sort of thing. So let's take a look at the D2L homepage to start off with. D2L. And there you see the D2L homepage. This should be the page that you see when you first come into D2L for your stat course. It will change from time to time, perhaps. This is also where I put any of the latest news that you'll need to know. So it's important to check this page every day during the summer semester and at least 2-3 times a week during a normal semester. Across the top in D2L, there's the links to various components of D2L. For example, you can look at the class list and get emails of your classmates for this semester. You can check your grades. You can take a look at quizzes and take the quizzes. I'll be discussing those in a minute. There's a Dropbox for you to submit your homework assignments. And there's a discussion area that I don't use in the summer other than a place where you can post questions to me or to your fellow students. And one or the other of us, or both of us, will answer any questions you might have. Anything private and sensitive, you should email me and not post in a public discussion. Then the content is actually the area that I use primarily. That's where the entire course structure is. So let's take a look at the course content. Alright, as you can see here, it's divided up into units. Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, Unit 4, and each unit represents a day of class. And each of the titles under the units then, in blue ink here, indicate the information that you will need to click on. These are also links to that information. You can see Unit 1 is our course information, right up here. Unit 2 is the first day of class, in which we look at the basic scientific methods. We also use the textbook, and if we take a look at Read Chapter 1, it tells you that the textbook is available from the Phillips Bookstore. Of course, you can order it anywhere else you'd like. And it lists the textbook as the Grabner and William 2007 edition, and it has the ISBN number here also. That ISBN number is important. No other versions of the book will correspond to the quiz questions chapter by chapter the way this one does. So if you're going to get an alternative textbook, well, it may or may not have the correct chapters and the correct sequence, and I just can't recommend that. You really need to get the book with the same ISBN number. Alright, let's go back to the course content then. I do have a brief description of course navigation for those of you not totally familiar with D2L. And you can check out that. The syllabus is here also, and the syllabus you see is a PDF file. It gives my name and office hours. It also mentions the textbook once again. This is the 8th edition. We're actually now using the 2009 version of the 8th edition of the textbook. We then see the grading policy. I use a points system. You will have 13 chapters in the textbook to read, to study, and at the end of each chapter there's a quiz, online quiz. So you'll take a chapter at the you'll take a quiz at the end of each chapter of readings, and it's roughly at 1 chapter per day of class. We then have 3 homework assignments that correspond to the major areas of statistics, and you can think of these as take-home tests or as homeworks, but these are major area assignments, and you can see they're worth 100 points each, so that is the bulk of the points for the class. I typically use a straight percentage scale where 90% is A, but some semesters I'll maybe change it to 88% or 92%. So a point system works out a lot better for me, and I do include the pluses and minuses in the point system, as you see in the final course grade area here. Read this. You may want to download it. It has the basic rules. It has a list of the topics that we're going to cover this semester. It also includes some disabled services accommodations that we can make and how to arrange that. as well as the definition of academic misconduct. Remember, you are not permitted to copy from a textbook, from internet sources, or from each other. I do want you to do your own work, no copying on anything from anybody. When you take quizzes, you should take the quiz on your own without help from any other students. This is a serious problem in online learning, and MTSU takes it pretty seriously. So please do your own work. The course basics, basically, as I mentioned, there are two things for you to do. Take the end of chapter quizzes and complete the homework assignments. In the content area, I include PDF files of written lectures, as you see here, a lecture on scientific methods, and a PowerPoint on the same topic. These correspond to chapters in the textbook. So you can see I have a PDF file, a lecture on scientific methods, a PowerPoint on basic statistical concepts, then a reminder to read chapter 1 in the textbook, and a reminder to take quiz over chapter 1. Okay? Now, let's back up for just a moment and take a look at our calendar of due dates. I keep that separate from the syllabus. It also is a PDF file, and as you can see, it lists each day of class and the things you need to do for that day. For example, on June 4th, first day of class, you need to read through the introduction of the course, or watch this video, and chapter 1, read chapter 1 of the textbook on the history of statistics, and read chapter 1 where it also talks about scales of measurement. Of course, that really means read all of chapter 1. These are the two major topics in chapter 1. And finally, take the quiz on chapter 1. Okay? And as you can see, it steps through everything you need to do during the semester. So where this information is then located, of course, is back in the content link. Notice on June 5th, we have a lecture on frequency distributions, a PowerPoint on frequency distributions, and now I add some additional information you need. For example, APA tables and graphs. We use APA style for all of our work in this class. You'll be doing a lot of graphing using Excel, and you'll be drawing tables using Microsoft Word. Now, the tables in Word do not use the table function, but that'll be explained in that lecture or PowerPoint. So notice there's a lecture, a PDF lecture on APA tables and graphs and how to do them. There's also lectures on how to do Excel graphing in the older version of Excel as well as the 2007 version of Excel. And finally, a reminder to read Chapter 2 in the textbook on June 5th. And basically the whole course is set out that way. Another requirement for this course is that you use a TI 83, 84, or other TI calculator to do your statistical analysis. And I provide videos on how to use the TI 83 plus or 84 plus or 84, all its different versions. I actually provide videos on how to use them to do the different statistical procedures that we study in this class. So watch those videos, learn how to use that calculator. You don't have to use the calculator or the videos if you don't wish. I also show you in lectures and in the textbook, of course, how to do things by hand if you prefer that method. I don't. It's very time-consuming and error-prone, so I would definitely use a calculator. Your other option is you can Google a variety of statistical procedures and find web pages that describe how to do them, and in fact you'll find web pages that may even allow you to input data and will then give you a summary analysis that you need. So you may be able to Google and find software that will do some of the statistics for you. I can't really help you with that. You're on your own if you decide to go that route. Now on campus we have SPSS as our major statistical software, and we learn also how to read the output files from SPSS software as part of the lecture. So at the end of each one of my PDF lectures, you will then see how to do that procedure using SPSS. It should be sufficiently detailed that if you have access to SPSS, which is, by the way, available 24/7 over in the Business and Aerospace building in the computer lab there. We also have labs, computer labs in the library with SPSS. And there's other labs around campus at other times. So you could come to campus if you wanted to analyze your data using SPSS. So those are your options for the data analysis. Okay, and of course all the instructions are included here in the content link in D2L. Well, as you can see, let me see, as we go through the semester, we'll have 3 homework assignments. So the first part of the class is descriptive statistics. Then we do, and you do end of chapter quizzes. In fact, while we're here, let's talk about the quiz, go take a look at the quizzes. When I click on the quiz link, you then get all the quizzes and the due dates for the quizzes, which are also listed in the course calendar and in the content when you should do these quizzes. As you can see, quiz over chapter 1 of the textbook is scheduled for June 4th to June 8th at midnight. And basically I'm giving you more than one day to do these quizzes, so if you can't get everything done on a daily basis, but there's, you need to do 2 chapters later in the week, that's fine, no problem. But you do need to stay on schedule during session 2 summer and any other semester for that matter. So be sure to pay attention to these due dates. Like I said, the first one is June 4th to June 8th, and everything is due before midnight on the due date. So if the due date's June 8th, you have until midnight basically to do that. I'm going to click on the quiz. When you click on one of the quizzes, well, and the instructor version isn't quite the same as your version, but when I'll go over here and start a quiz, you can see how they work. It's a multiple choice quiz. And all the questions are here and with radio buttons, and you simply click your choice for an answer and be sure to save that answer. And when you get to the end, notice these quizzes are 10 points, multiple choice with 4 choices per question. And you then save it once you've answered all the questions and submit the quiz. That's basically how the quiz works. It will grade it instantly and give you immediate feedback on what you missed, what you didn't miss. Okay? That grade then will go into the grades link, and you can then it'll give you immediate feedback on your grade, plus put it in the grades link so you can come back anytime and retrieve that quiz, take a look at the grade. You get 3 attempts at each quiz, so if you take it one time, don't like your score, take it a second time and see if you can do better, and third time, see if you do better still. I will accept the highest grade of the 3 as your quiz grade. So whichever one's the highest, that's the one we keep, the other 2 are thrown out. Well, going back to content then, I'm not sure what else I can tell you. We've got quizzes of content. Oh, about the homework assignments. Well, let's take a look at the Dropbox. Dropbox contains homework assignments, and when you click on one of the homework assignments, you'll get the description of that homework. It will be a file, again a PDF file that will tell you all the instructions, tell you what to do, explain how to do it. Well, the course content, of course, explains how to do things. The homework is basically 2 parts. There's some short answer questions and then an APA report type question. In this class, you will learn an abbreviated form of APA writing style. So not only do we learn how to do statistics, we also learn how to report statistics in APA style. APA is the American Psychological Association, and they've told us how we should write up reports of statistical information. So we'll be learning how to do that as well in this class. And that's the major focus of the 3 homework assignments, is how to write a report in the 3 major areas of statistics. And of course, how to write these reports isn't just a homework assignment, it's also described in detail in the content link. So if you'll notice, on June 7th our topic is correlations, and there's a lecture on correlation, a PowerPoint on correlation, a video on using the TI-83 for correlational analysis, and finally a reminder to read the chapter, take the quiz, plus the PDF file on how to write APA statistical reports. This is part 1, there's part 2 and part 3, because 3 parts do statistics, and how we write our reports differs a little bit among the 3 basic components of statistics. Some of the rules are the same. The basic rules: don't use personal pronouns, don't use symbols in place of words, do not begin sentences with numbers, do not use I or we, that's personal pronouns, I guess. And never say the word mean by itself, never say mean score. So some of these basic rules are true for all the homework assignments and are repeated on each instructional file for your homework. Each one of these also includes a sample report. So you can see here at the bottom we begin a sample report in a 2-paragraph style in which we introduce the problem, we state the purpose, we then state the number of subjects, kind of subjects, we talk about our procedures and how what we measured and how the measurements work, then finally present the basic descriptive statistics and remind the reader to take a look at our tables. The report then goes to the second paragraph, and in that second paragraph we state the statistical test that's used, the statistical data based on that test. We then formulate our conclusions, specific conclusion and a general conclusion. We then move into a discussion about our findings. Now the rest of this instructional file tells you why we do this, how we do it, what's going on here, and gives you more information about the APA report. And finally we do graphs. We'll be drawing graphs using Excel. And in APA style, in the content link, you'll find specific instructions for the various types of graphs we use in statistics. And of course, you'll find a sample of a graph, a scatter plot or a correlation graph, also in our instruction sheets. And a table. We'll also discuss APA tables, how to set up APA tables of statistical data, and then shows you a sample of an APA style table. Okay, let's go back to the content then. So you can see that's there's detailed instructions on how to write APA results for your homework assignment. There's one for each major homework, 1, 2, and 3. As we move this semester, it's all pretty much the same thing as we go through chapter by chapter in the textbook. Once again, there's PDF lectures, there's PowerPoints, there's reminders to read the chapters, reminders to take the quiz over that chapter, and movies on how to use the TI-83 to do statistics. Well, that's about it for this class. 3 major homework assignments and 13 end-of-chapter quizzes. Your grade then is based on the percentage of points you receive on the 10-point quizzes, 13 of those, 130 points, and 3 homeworks valued at 100 points each, or 300 points makes 430 total points for class. And the more points you get, the higher your grade. Well, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed the semester. I really enjoyed teaching statistics. It's one of my favorite subjects. In fact, statistics is the very reason I started college, and it's worked out pretty well for me. And if I weren't teaching statistics, I'm sure I'd be working as a statistician in private business, or preferably in some research institute. So, well, once again, welcome to class. We'll see you later. Be sure to email me if you have any questions anytime.